Welcome back. This is the 545 Cat 4-5 field. Gene Johnson cycling team, the Devo squad. And I apologize for the sound quality, but my wife has taken the recording booth, also known as our car, to work today. So I'm recording this in the kitchen. For the last few days, Training Peaks has been warning me that I've overtrained. And unfortunately, as soon as the race starts, I realize that it is correct. Legs are a little sore. I'm doing 2 races tonight. So my goal is to spend my energy wisely. It's something I'm trying to get better at. So in an effort to save some energy, paying a lot of attention to the wind. It's about 7 miles an hour out of the northwest. So that's why I'm on the left side of the course on the front straight. So for the first lap, I pretty much just hang out at the back. So as we finish the back straight, see there's a breakaway of 2. Got our man Stan in it. He's not wearing a team jersey tonight. So he's a little bit harder to spot, but it is still a light blue jersey. Now as I come onto the front straight, see the brake's going to get caught, so I want to be in position for a counterattack. I launch the attack on the protected side again. Just hoping to get a response out of some other teams. No one comes along. So as I get caught by the field, I'm hoping someone else does an attack. It keeps this race fast. That's Stan in front of me on the left. Yeah, and he's just wearing a blue jersey tonight, not the team's jersey. And sure enough, we have Audi does an attack. A couple Liquid Velo guys, and Stan hops on their wheel. Once I see that happen, I make sure I let a gap form, because that's a good amount of people for a break. And that break's got a lot of teams in it. Audi, Liquid Velo, Fount, and our own Gene Johnson team. And that's most of the field. That means the only people not in that break are Taco Time and Apex. And I just want to let that gap grow. Force Taco Time and Apex to spend the whole race closing it down. So this is a preem lap, and there's a chance the breakaway could fall apart. They might try to go for the preem, tire themselves out. So I move up to the front, just in case we catch them. I'm in a good position to do a counter. But the brake sticks together. Stan actually goes for the preem, because he misses it by half a wheel to Liquid Velo. So as we approach the start finish, Apex rider gets a hole in their front tire. Takes him out of the race. Luckily, doesn't cause a crash. Everyone stays up. So as we approach the back straight, the Apex rider looks like he's going to try to bridge. So I just stay on his wheel. But the rest of the field, they bring us back in. This is what I want to see. I want to see Apex at the front, working hard, so that way by the end of the race, they don't have anything left in them. So James and I are talking. I tell him that I think the 2 Apex riders up front, I think they are purposely letting that break stay a little bit longer before they really try to close it down to tire them out. So at the end of the 6th lap, one of the breakaway riders drifts back, which means the brake might be falling apart. And the rest of the field might smell the blood in the water, pick up the pace. So getting ready for that to happen. And on the front straight, trying to see what the breakaway looks like. And we don't see Stan in that break. It does look kind of spaced out. So we have less than half of the race to go. So I decide it's time to bring that break in. I move up to the front a little too aggressively. Wait for James to catch back up. And we got Dan behind James. We've been taking it easy this whole race, so we can do some work. James says do 30-second pulls, and we get into a bit of a rhythm. Apex is helping us. And here comes Stan. Lets us know they're 30 seconds ahead. And this Audi guy, he's still got a teammate up ahead in the break, so I know he's not going to do any pulls, so I move around him. So Max has moved up from the back to help out. James is trying to organize other people to help out with the chase. So on the back straight, we run into a few more riders from the breakaway. So now I know that breakaway is even smaller. And our team's been doing lots of the work to close it down, but they are getting closer. And just in time, Apex comes along, does a few pulls, lets us rest up a bit. But towards the second to last turn, they start slowing down. So I move up to the front to keep that pace high. So as I come into the back straight, we catch the break. I counterattack, prevent the field from getting any rest in the last couple laps. And then I see, turns out we have one more person in front of us. He's an Audi rider. I recognize him. I was in a break with him last week. And during that break, he did lots of work. So I'm assuming he did lots of work in this week's break too. So I'm thinking he's by himself now. He's tired. And I'm going to let him hang out front for a little bit longer. We got another lap and a half. He's just a few seconds ahead. He's close enough where the rest of the racers can see him. And I know someone's going to get antsy. Someone's going to want to close that gap down. And they'll do the work, and I'll be able to sit in on their wheel and rest up for the finish. So at the start of the final lap, this Audi rider has actually grown the gap. So now I am panicking a little. So I go to the front, try to close it down in time for us to rest for the final sprint. So from the right, Max launches a nice strong attack which really animates the field, causes everyone to pick up the pace to close this gap. The liquid Velo guy comes off from the left. He's going too fast for me to get on his wheel. And we only have half a lap to go. I'm trying not to burn myself out. So unfortunately, we catch up to this Audi guy, but now that Liquid Velo person, he's got a big gap. There's just not enough left in the race to chase him down. So as we go into the second to last turn, the field gets strung out from these late race attacks, which is exactly what we need. Fortunately, James got a puncture on the second to last lap, so that's why we haven't been seeing much of him lately. But it would have been great if he was here right now. So at the end of this turn, I want to be on the left side of the track, and I'm looking for a good lead out wheel. I see this Liquid Velo guy and the green bike come up on the left. And I saw he was racing pretty strong before, so I tried to get on his wheel. And then luckily, on the left side, Evan and Dan come up. And they're able to salvage 9th and 10th place. I was hoping the team would get a better result this race, but we had to do a lot of work to chase down that break. So by the time the attacks on the last lap came, we didn't have enough people that were able to respond to them, which goes to show these late race attacks are great at stringing the field out and preventing just a massive bunch sprint. So what we need to work on is during the last lap, if you're at the back of the race, move up to the front. That way we could chase down any of these late race attacks and also be in a good position for a lead out. All right. See you in the 7 p.m. race.